Well, I'm sorry I don't have really fun slides for you guys, but first of all, I really want to say thank you so much for the organizers for the opportunity to be here. I'm here, I'm not quite sure why. I mean, I guess I'm an entrepreneur. I'm also part of the organization because this year we have a very, very strong collaboration between Fulbright Best and Mind the Bridge, and that's the first time. And so it's just a real honor to be here. But what I really want to tell you guys is you don't know how lucky you are to be here. When I started out, there was nothing. So take advantage of this, really. You know, you're going to have just some great people at the boot camp and going forward. This is a golden opportunity, and it's quite rare. And well, when we started, it was in the late 90s. They didn't even know what venture capital was in Italy. There was no NASDAQ-type market anywhere in Europe, not in France, not in Italy, nothing. It was really a parking lot. So things have changed, and you should take advantage. I want to also make one comment. I enjoyed all the talks so far, and particularly, Charles, your slides. One scared me a lot, though, even as old as I am already. With all those things I had to think about in my business plan, I thought, oh my God, you know? And then I went back to thinking of Alberto's slide that 70% of you guys are PhDs, and you're probably in your lab in the sea and air, and that was probably like Martian to you, okay? So here's a hint. During this time, talk to everybody. Talk to Charles. Network with him. I hope you all have brought your business cards. Lorenzo knows I say this to you guys all the time. I hope each one of you guys has your business cards, or if you don't, make some up tonight. Pass them around, and this is a networking opportunity. Sitting in this room already are enough people to fill up all of the boards and scientific boards in your company and help you out, okay? So just one thing, I wanted to explain to you why we keep emphasizing for you guys in particular that you have to tell your story, all right? Part of it is also a cultural thing in Italy, okay? You guys don't like to sell yourselves. I'm American, sorry, I forgot to tell you that. I guess that was obvious. But, you know, talking about yourself is really a no-no, all right? But it's important. And it's extremely important for you guys because looking at Alberto's slides, the great majority of you all are here because you have a patent or an invention. It's not about that though, but that's what your passion is. But we really don't want to hear about it. We want to hear it at the end of the slide. We want to hear about you. And one of the main reasons is your business plan is important, your projections, your customer, but you know what? Most venture capitalists don't even read the Excel sheets until the very end. And you know why? Because they're wrong. They're just wrong. Your product development times with the best estimates are way short. Your revenues are way overdone. Your profits are, so we don't even, you know, we're like, yeah, you know. I mean, it has to be done seriously, but it's not about that. Things are going to change, and the only thing we're really investing in is the people, all right? Venture capitalists, if you go around, we say there are 5 things. The people, the people, the people, the product, and the market, all right? And the people person is you, the entrepreneur, okay? So that's why you've got to tell us about your story, because it's the only thing that's going to stay with us through the investment, all right? And we're going to invest in you. Now, and you have to be passionate, you know, and you have to tell your story. Let me tell you a funny story. It's not about me. I'll try to be really, really quick. Anyway, so we were looking at this plan, and it was, you know, and the entrepreneur was like, couldn't quite figure out, you know, what's going on. Huh? So we're talking, and finally we asked the right question. And she says, well, yes, it's true. I really just want to make enough money to buy a villa in Tuscany and do yoga. We said, okay, fine, you know, that's your story. So your investors, you know, but your story also has to be convincing, but it is about you. But we could tell that there was something that wasn't adding up in her business plan, and we finally got to it when we got about the story. So let me also make a comment about the slide that Marco showed us, where you had this, for me it looked really clear considering my area, where you had a sort of foggy forest, okay? In my case, it was like in the middle of a dark lightning bolt. So let me tell you, I had 2 lightning bolts. The first one was when I was a PhD student, and I had synthesized a molecule. I think Charles knows them because it's from college in Corp all those days. We talked about that. I swear we must have met each other at Regis. There's no way we didn't. Anyway, so I had synthesized this molecule, and I was so excited. You know, I had like 2 grams of this thing, and I'd been hired by this biotech company, and that was just really great. And I get invited out to dinner by the CEO. Probably he had something else in mind, but I was so concentrated on my project that it didn't. Only years later I figured that out, but never mind. So he says to me, Betsy, where do you want your business division to be 10 years from now? I'm like, what? What? I'm in the microbiology lab. I couldn't, but it was like a lightning bolt hit me. Yes, I'm thrilled because I'm synthesizing my molecule, but I'm supposed to be selling something. And that just totally changed my life. Anyway, then I came to Italy and we found some very interesting technology, and it was an opportunity to create a new aspirin. And the idea was, can you imagine an aspirin which will be a very powerful painkiller? And you know, all that new biotech stuff, you know, pain, we're not going to get rid of pain by gene cloning and all that stuff. Pain is, you know, if you invest in pain, it's a good thing to invest because it's never going away. So it was a pain drug that would be safe on the stomach, because everybody knows about that, and be cardioprotective. And we had a very tiny innovation where we took 2 known molecules and we put them together to make this new molecule. And, you know, a huge market, billions of dollars. Just the need to handle cardio problems and gastric problems is also probably billions of dollar market. So it was a very, very good idea. And we embarked on our development. And about $300 million later, and 13 years later, we had the opportunity, and I got to speak then too. Ever since I haven't wanted to speak in public, but anyway, we had the opportunity May 12, 2010 to present all of this to the FDA. And we got rejected. And we got rejected because things change. The requirements for drugs change. It takes 15 years to develop a drug, but maybe because of the pressures in Congress, and maybe because other kind of drugs had safety problems, the requirements for putting a product on the market change. So probably if we did another study of about 5 years long with 10,000 patients, if the data comes out well, we could get on the market. It's another 500 million, it's impossible. So you can get hit by lightning, which is what happened to my company right now. But you know what? We're gonna make it work. We are going to make it work. The reason I'm not here with you on the weekends, we're going back to the FDA. We're talking about it. We're going to you know, look at the data in innovative ways and see how we can get it done. We're just going to be creative. But it's tough. It's a tough moment for us, the founders. It's a real tough moment for our employees right now. It's a real tough moment for our shareholders. We were lucky. We went public after only 2 rounds of venture financing and less than 10 million euros, which is impossible, at about 35 euros. At a certain point, the stock was up. This was in 1999. At a certain point, the high was, although there have been some splits, was equivalent probably of 90. It's now at 2. So, you know, you always hear about the successful stories, and you know, I think my company is still successful, but it's really, really tough, and it's really, really stressful, because success is, for an entrepreneur, is really, at the end of the day, it's based on you and what you get out, but basically how much value you give back to your shareholders. It's not just about you and your lifestyle. And it's just tough. So you got to be sure you really want to do it, okay? But it is worth it. And I just want to make one other comment, very, very briefly. You know, I hear so many times people kind of bellywagging about Italy. Oh, it's so hard here, and you know, there's no liquidity in the markets, we don't have any venture capital, there's no trade, you know, the list is long. But you know what? It really can be a great place to start a company. And one of the things is that you have scarcity value. You know, there is money to invest here, and the number of deals is, number of good deals, it's not even a trickle. As Lorenzo knows, it's like a drop every now and then. So scarcity value is something you really have going for you. The second thing is that we are a small community here, and so the opportunity for networking is, and getting leverage out of networking, I think is even, you know, can be even greater than in the States. So I think you have all the tools to do it. So just, you know, have a great time this weekend, and I wish all you guys the best of luck.